are going to perform an experiment which is section A, and experiment is number 2. So what is the aim of the experiment? Let us say here you can see the aim of the experiment is to test the presence of sugar, more specifically glucose, in urine. So here we are going to test urine, whether glucose is present or not present. Now here we must know what are the requirements for the experiment. So here you can see I have taken simulated prepared samples of urine. These are not actual urine samples, just to avoid infections. So here this is urine sample 1 which is prepared, this is urine sample 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 urine simulated prepared samples. Now students, what is next required? Here you can see test tube stand is required just to place test tube in position. Here Benedict solution is required, spirit lamp is required, match stick is required and dropper is required. So these are the requirements for the experiment. Now students, what is the theory behind the experiment? We all aware that sugar is present in our blood and there must be a range of sugar, normal range of sugar in our blood, that is 180 mg per 100 ml of blood. If this range is, if the range increases, so your kidney is going to excrete out that sugar in the urine, and by the help of urine samples we can test the presence of sugar in the urine sample, because in normal physiological condition 0% sugar is present in our urine, but because of some physiological conditions, maybe due to pregnancy, maybe due to some thyroid problem, and in case of diabetes mellitus, when there is less concentration of insulin in our blood, so resulted in sugar, a high level of sugar in blood, and yes, we can see some amount of, some percentage of sugar in the urine. So here let us start with the experiment. What are the experiment? Now here you can see, if we talk about the principle of the experiment, so principle of the experiment is that sugar is a glucose is a reducing sugar because it has aldehyde as a functional group, and this Benedict solution has copper salt, specifically copper 2 sulfate, and this is oxidizing agent. So this copper sulfate 2, this is copper 2 sulfate which is oxidizing agent, and here is the reducing aldehyde group. You can say sugar has aldehyde group, glucose has aldehyde group. So this sugar is going to reduce this oxidizing agent, and copper 2 is going to convert into copper 1, and we get a precipitate of copper 1 as orange red in color if glucose is present. Here you can see different colors demarcated. Here if it comes as Benedict solution color, so, or you can say if after reaction, after treating with Benedict solution, blue color comes, it means no glucose is present in your urine. If it is green, so 0.5% glucose is present. If it is yellow, 1%. If it is little bit orange yellow, 1.5. It is brick red, then more than 1.5% glucose is present in our urine, and this indicates diabetes mellitus because of less concentration of insulin in our blood, maybe because beta cells are not going to secrete appropriate amount of insulin in our blood. Now students, here you can see test for the glucose. So how to test the glucose? So take 5 ml of urine sample in the test tube. Here I have taken 4 samples and we are going to heat them one by one. Before heating we pour Benedict solution. Now let us pour 5 to 6 drops of Benedict solution in each sample. So here I have poured Benedict solution in each test tube. Now let us heat it. This is the way we are going to heat. Either you heat directly on the spirit lamp or you just heat by taking water bath. This is water bath. You just put your test tube in water bath, and after 5 minutes you can see the color change if glucose is present in it. If no glucose is present in the urine, then the color remains the same. So here students, let us heat it. Sample. This water bath is heated up to a particular temperature. You can say near to the boiling temperature, and then when I place all the you can say test tubes in the beaker in the water bath, then I can see the color change. This is the sample one, and here you can see students that here you can see it is somewhat. Here you can see it is somewhat 2.6 to 3.5% glucose present in the urine sample. So here also you can see the same percentage, and then here you can see student, here you can see we have two samples left, sample 4 and sample 2. So here you can see sample 2 doesn't have any glucose sample. Here you can see it doesn't have any glucose sample in the urine, while here you can see little bit 0.5% glucose sample is there in the urine. So in this way we can identify the percentage of samples, percentage of glucose in different urine samples. Now students, what are the precautions to be taken while experimenting? So here you can see, take appropriate amount of samples and reagents. So be careful while heating the samples or making water bath. You should be very careful, because we use spirit lamp over here, so you should be very careful. Now students, these are the questions which are going to be discussed on Saturday during your practical period. So you all are go through these you can say viva voce questions. What are sugars? So we will discuss all these questions, but for that first you go through all the questions, right? So name one monosaccharide and one disaccharide. What are monosaccharides? The monomer, you can say the simplest sugar. For example, glucose is a monosaccharide, fructose is a monosaccharide. Similarly, if we talk about disaccharide, sucrose, the table sugar, is a disaccharide. Lactose is a disaccharide. Now, what are reducing sugar? Most of the I mean to say all the monosaccharides are reducing sugars, because they have either aldehyde group or keto groups. So glucose has aldehyde group while fructose has keto group. Now, what are monosaccharides for reducing sugar? As I said, because they have aldehyde or keto groups which are reducing functional group, which can reduce copper 2 ions to copper 1 ions. Now here you can see what is the normal range of sugar in our blood, that is 180 mg per 100 ml of blood. Now name the hormone deficiency of which resulted in diabetes mellitus. It is insulin. And under what physiological condition urine samples show positive test? So physiological condition may be high level of adrenaline hormone in the blood, or thyroxine level is high during pregnancy. And if we talk about pathological conditions, then when insulin is not secreted by pancreatic cells. So in this way we can see students that urine samples show glucose test. So this is the way how to test the urine samples for glucose. Now thank you and have a nice day.